precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Danushka Madhavala and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. Sri Lanka is expected to answer the allegations made against them by the UN Human Rights Commission today. Global coronavirus cases top 100 million. Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine will be brought down to the country this week. Several Grama Niladhara divisions have released from isolation status. PCR tests and rapid antigen tests will be carried out to all the persons who leave Colombo from tomorrow. News overseas, Joe Biden and Putin agreed to extend nuclear arms pact. We move on to local news in detail now. Sri Lanka is expected to answer the allegations made against them by the UN Human Rights Commissioner. The government is expected to write the answers in this regard today. A draft will be handed over to the UNHRC in Geneva today. Meanwhile, Minister Keheliya Rambukwala says that accepting or rejecting the human rights allegations against the country depends on Sri Lanka. In the year 2019, then Minister Tilak Marapana has informed the UNHRC that there are no provisions in the Sri Lankan constitution to meet the demands of the UNHRC resolution. The minister said that President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has appointed a special committee to probe into the alleged human rights allegations in the country to answer the questions raised in these allegations. State Minister Consultant Dr. Sudarshini Fernandopulle says that Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine will be brought down to the country this week. She said that the Indian government provides the vaccine on a request from the president. She told a media briefing held in Colombo that trials were conducted at 3 places in connection with the vaccine inoculation. Isolation status has been imposed in 9 Grama Seva divisions of Atulagama, Bandaragama. They have been lifted. The National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 outbreak accordingly said isolation imposed in the Bokahavatta, Bamanamulla 659C and 660 Kolamadiriya, Koravela, Atulagama East, Atulagama West, Epitamulla and Galgemandia Grama Niladhara divisions was lifted as of 5 this morning. Isolation in the Moragala Grama Niladhara division of Ahaliyagoda of the Ratnapura district was also lifted as of 5 a.m. today. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said that PCR tests and rapid antigen tests will be carried out to all the persons who leave Colombo from tomorrow. This initiative will be taking place until the 1st of next month, covering main 11 exit routes from Colombo. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news. We continue with more stories here at home. The Committee on Public Enterprises has instructed the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment to use its funds for the task of repatriating migrant workers affected by the COVID-19. The COP inquired whether there are any legal impediments to the repatriation of Sri Lankan workers using Foreign Employment Bureau's current assets of 14 billion rupees. SLBFE chairman informed the COP that there was no obstacle to repatriate foreign workers registered with the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment to Sri Lanka using their funds. This was revealed during a COP meeting held at the Parliament complex recently. The COP has said that 800 million rupees have been spent for the embassy staff of the foreign missions during the year 2019. The committee questioned whether the expected service is received through those staff members. Chairman of the State Pharmaceuticals Corporation, Consultant Dr. Prasanna Gunasekara said that none of the countries in the world has given the authority to import coronavirus vaccine to the private sector. The chairman said that the corporation is fulfilling the required service for the general public at present. He added that the vaccine will be imported according to the international price formula. The European Union and Sri Lanka held their 23rd meeting of the Joint Commission on the 25th of January 2021 via video conference. This was the first joint commission under the new leadership in both the European Union and Sri Lanka. The Joint Commission meeting was held in a cordial and open atmosphere, and the EU and Sri Lanka exchanged views on a wide array of subjects, reaffirming the deep cooperation ties and the willingness to strengthen the relationship between the people of the EU and Sri Lanka further. The EU and Sri Lanka agreed on the importance of enhancing trade ties and continuing to work closely together on human rights and reconciliation issues which were on the agenda of the meeting. That's on local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Minister Mahinda Amaraveera says that the government will intervene to control sand price. He said that the Presidential Task Force has recommended the government to intervene to control the price. A discussion took place between the minister and associations of sand transporters. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera said that the Technical Services Institution under the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau is engaged in sand distribution. He said that arrangements have been made to provide quality sand at a fair price.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Agencies affiliated with the Information and Communication Technology Agency of Sri Lanka reported that 1919 has received 1.5 million telephone calls to obtain government information last year. Subramaniam Gavaskar, head of this agency, said that 95% of these requirements have been successfully met. Government Information Centre and agencies affiliated to Information and Communication Technology Agency jointly maintain and provide information of nearly 1,500 services of 300 institutions free of charge in all 3 languages.
World News, brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines: Global coronavirus cases top 100 million. Death toll from coronavirus tops 100,000 in UK. Joe Biden and Putin agreed to extend nuclear arms pact. World news in detail now. The number of confirmed coronavirus cases around the world yesterday passed 100 million since the start of the pandemic, according to an AFP tally. Worldwide, at least 2,151,242 people have lost their lives to COVID-19. The vast majority of people infected with the virus recover, but some patients suffer from symptoms for weeks or even months. The official number of cases registered since the pandemic first broke out in China in late 2019 represents just a fraction of the real number of infections around the world. Many countries were late to implement systematic testing, and some continue to test only the most seriously ill. The poorest nations, meanwhile, only have the capacity for limited testing. The United States, which passed 25 million confirmed cases last weekend, remains the country with the largest outbreak. India is second with 10.7 million cases and Brazil third with 8.9 million cases. Britain has become the first country in Europe to mark 100,000 deaths of people infected with the coronavirus. The government reported an accumulated death toll of 100,162 on Tuesday. That total includes 1,631 new deaths counted on that day. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said it is hard to compute the sorrow contained in that grim statistic. He regretted that so many people missed the chance to even say goodbye to their relatives. More than 60,000 cases had been confirmed some days earlier this month amid the rapid spread of a new variant of the virus since December. The number of daily new cases in Britain has been on the decrease, but the numbers of deaths and hospitalizations are still way above the levels seen in the first wave of the pandemic last spring. Finally, on world news, the White House says President Joe Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin have agreed that the two countries will work to extend a nuclear arms control pact, which is set to expire on the 5th of February. The White House said in a statement on Tuesday that the two leaders held their first telephone talk and discussed both countries' willingness to extend the New START or Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty for 5 years. The treaty is the last remaining nuclear arms control pact between the US and Russia after the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty expired in 2019 August. That's on World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And on development news, with tourism opening up, Air Astana, the flag carrier of Kazakhstan based in Almaty, will launch direct flights to Mattala Rajapaksa International Airport soon. The airline will first operate charter flights starting from February 6 to MRIA and then will launch scheduled flights. They will operate an A321 flight for Sri Lanka operations. The airline operates scheduled domestic and international services on 64 routes from its main hub Almaty International Airport and from its secondary hub Nur Sultan Nazarbayev International Airport. That's on development news. Moving on to sports news. Manchester City climbed to the top of the Premier League by handing West Brom another home hammering. No team in Europe's top 5 divisions has conceded as many goals at home as Sam Allardyce's Albion, and they were ruthlessly exposed again by a brilliant attacking display. For their second week running, City were the beneficiaries of a contentious offside call, but there can be no doubt that they would have routed the hosts regardless. That's on sports news, and on to business news now. President of the Chamber of Construction Industry, Engineer Major Ranjit Gunatilaka said the lull in the apartment sector will pick up while the construction boom, which was evident 6 years ago, will recommence despite the economic downturn from the COVID-19 pandemic. In an interview with the local press, he said that the current low interest rates have resulted in people moving out of depositing money in fixed deposits and other banking products and are looking for new options. For this segment, buying an apartment is in their top list.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We're at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Minister of Energy Udaya Gammanpilla reiterated that assurance of energy security and self-sufficiency of energy requirements in the country. He was addressing the employees of Lanka IOC at their head office recently. The minister further elaborated the plan of making Sri Lanka as the energy hub of Asia and improving the existing energy mix by enhancing the contribution of renewable and clean energy and expediting exploration of natural gas, besides developing new and revamping existing refinery for producing Euro 6 compliant fuels. He also emphasized the transformation of country's energy mix towards renewable energy by way of facilitating and implementing the projects towards the wind energy, solar energy and many more.
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And on the weather update, showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the Sabaragamuwa province and in Galle and Matara districts after 2 p.m. Mainly fair weather will prevail over the parts of the island. Misty conditions can be expected at Western, Central and Sabaragamuwa provinces during the morning. With that weather update, we conclude the morning bulletin of news, and it's back to Vienna.